Thank you all for coming out tonight. Let me thank Laurel Blessing and Darren Martin and Jamal Green. Let me thank Chuy Garcia and John Ford. Let me thank Jonathan Jackson for that vibrant introduction. You know, today has been a difficult day for me, and I'll tell you why. We were in Flint, Michigan earlier this afternoon, and we had a town meeting there, and we heard from the people. It was hard for me to believe, and it is emotionally very difficult to believe that what is going on in Flint, Michigan today is happening in the United States of America in the year 2016. And I'm not going to even talk about it for a long time because it is so painful. It is so horrific in terms of what is happening to children, to children's intellectual development in America today. And then I come here, and I find out that this great university is also being threatened with cuts. What is going on in America? Where are our priorities? How does it happen that we allow a great city to undergo incredible destruction? How does it happen that we are making it harder for young people to get the education they need? You know, I have been criticized in this campaign for thinking too big. You know, oh my goodness. But I want to tell you something. You want to hear big and radical things from me? Here it is, big and radical. In the last 30 years in this country, there has been a massive redistribution of wealth. You want to talk about radical? Trillions of dollars leaving the hands of the middle class and working families, ending up at the top 1/10 of 1%. Now, all of that was happening while 47 million people living in poverty, middle class disappearing, rich getting richer. I didn't hear the establishment saying, oh my goodness, what a terrible radical idea. But when you stand up for working people, suddenly the establishment says, this is a terrible idea, we can't afford it. Let me just say a few things. We started this campaign at 3% in the polls. In the last 10 days, 3 of the national polls had us ahead, and the 4th had us 2 points ahead. And the reason I think for that, the real momentum that we have all across this country and here in Illinois, the real momentum that we have is people are sick and tired of establishment politics, establishment economics, and they're tired of the same old, same old. And our campaign has been doing something really radical. You know what it is? We're telling the American people the truth. Here's the truth. Media may not report it, you may not see it on TV or hear it on the radio. Here's the truth. You're living today under a corrupt campaign finance system which is undermined democracy. We're living under a political system where Wall Street and billionaires are spending huge sums of money to buy elections. Not American democracy. That's where you are working in many cases longer hours for lower wages. People are working 2 or 3 jobs, and yet almost all new income and wealth is going to the top 1%. And today in America, we're living with a broken criminal justice system. A system which has more people in jail than any other country on earth, largely African American and Latino. A system that together we are going to change, and change profoundly. We don't want to see a nation in which we have more people in jail. We want to see a nation where we're the best educated people, where our kids have decent jobs. Well, the reason that our campaign is gaining momentum is we're doing something pretty unusual for American politics. Instead of listening to billionaire campaign donors, we are listening to the American people. And this is what we are hearing in Illinois, all across this country. We are hearing from people who say, we can't make it on $9 or $10 an hour. I remember being in Detroit last year, talking to a bunch of young people. They were working in McDonald's at $7.25 an hour. They couldn't even get 40 hours a week. They had to do 20 hours, get on a bus to go to another place, get on a bus to go to another place. That is why we are going to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. To say that anyone who works in this country full-time should not be living in poverty. And while the media may not pay a lot of attention to it, we are listening to senior citizens and disabled veterans all over this country. You know what they're saying? They're saying we can't make it on $11,000 or $12,000 a year Social Security. We can't buy the medicine that we need. We can't keep our homes warm. We can't buy the food that we need. That is not the way we treat our parents and grandparents.